Man, what was going down, man?
Well, shit, man, we had a spontaneous visit when Hussein Fatal jumped on the line, and so,
Wow.
Yeah, we got beat for a second, and then he kind of signed out, and my man Hollywood from Philly was on the line, and he was chopping up his theory. We've just been, keeping the movement. Right now, it's me, Sean Sparks, and then my co-author, my friend Drah Cenedive, is also on the line. So that's what's up. Thanks a lot for joining us.
I mean, you mind if I cut in there, Kush? This is Drake.
Yeah, cut in. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything earlier because, again, I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot or any kind of predicament. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go on in this world. People, will give you their account of it. They may not. But my intentions for my book and my work was never to put anybody in danger or put anybody on the spot or try to dig into somebody's personal business. I just put the other half out there, the other side out there, and explored those possibilities because I want to be known for representing or trying to explore conspiracy theories and or the truth, and just kind of not digging in and getting nosy, but to give the other half. Anyway, when we talked about, there was early discussion about Gaddafi, and from my findings, and I'm not even going to talk about beliefs because it's not about that. This is not a religion. But from my findings and my conclusion, never thought that Gaddafi is dead. From the conclusions I found, it's very possible he's not dead. And Pac confirms that in a song. Again, people can say what they want, just like the Anton Beatty deal. There's a lot that I held back because I knew his understanding of what was going on, and I didn't want to say too much. But the bottom line is this. We do random things in songs. We say random stuff in songs, and as Julius, you as an artist, you know that. Sometimes we may say some random stuff, but a lot of times it has some substance. I don't believe that Pac, a lot of times when he was speaking in his songs, it was just random. That's just like saying, when he's talking about Nas, you're trying to be live like me, took 5 like me. Now, hello?
Yeah.
I don't know what that noise was, but
yeah, that was.
But anyway, when he makes a comment like that, I've got to question people. Is he just talking about some guy named Nas, or is he talking about Nas, the rapper from New York? Yes, he's talking about the guy, Nas, the rapper from New York. He's not just talking randomly. And so when he says certain things in his songs, as far as I'm concerned, as far as most people are concerned, it has substance. We can't just write it off. So if he's saying things that is possible, just like Chris Rock says, and I'm going to put it on blast, because I've known people who knows Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. They believe the same thing I believe. Now, either I'm just crazy and Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle is crazy, but Chris Rock is constantly putting it in his comedy as well. I was just watching Everybody Hates Chris the other day. There was a guy that they was looking for. He went into his partner's house, little friend's house, and he said something, and then he was like, he said, yeah, don't come around looking for me anymore. He said, and then here comes Chris Rock's voice. He said, that's the thing that Pac says every time somebody comes and finds him. I mean, it comes to a point where you don't joke.
That's my text message.
Yeah, there comes a point when it's all jokes aside. I'm sorry, but if one of my kids died, and God forbid, nobody better not be joking about my kids being alive or anything. That's not funny. That's not a joke. There's nothing funny about joking about something like that. Why aren't they joking about Biggie being alive? Why aren't they joking about some of these other people that, we know are clearly gone? Why aren't they joking about them? There's nothing funny about that. So for people to point jokes, it's not funny. There's substance to that. And so with that being said, Pac does make a reference regarding that it's very possible that Gaddafi never died. When he says, he makes that statement that I sanitized my posse, he describes the so-called shot to the head in the song when he's talking about, he's saying this and still balling, okay? And then in the intro of that, they're joking about it. It's like, oh yeah, where's all these lyrics coming from? It's like he's still alive. They're joking about it.
No, God bless. That's unconditional love. That's the video Unconditional Love. Now, what's interesting to tie that back to what you talk about with Nas is my man's Hollywood that was on here. We actually was setting up a conversation with this cat Kurt Cobain in Atlanta he produced. He claimed that he crafted the Machiavelli sound. He produced Unconditional Love, and in the song Unconditional Love, that video, it's at the start of it. It's got the radio where the disc jockey, she calls in and she's saying she was talking about the song God Bless the Dead, where Tupac says rest in peace to Biggie Smalls, and so he says rest in peace to Biggie Smalls, and then it cuts in to the song, and so that's what she's talking about. Does anyone know what I'm talking about there? But anyway, this dude Kurt Cobain was telling me in Hollywood about the night in Vegas that Pac was bumping Nas, It Was Written, and he says he remembers the look on his face when he was bumping It Was Written. And that's just, anyways, man, we never got that full story, man. We're still trying to get that whole interview. But the thing about Gaddafi, which was interesting that conversation came up, is that he was saying, that the situation with Gaddafi was a coincidence, that just happened. But is it like a coincidence that it happened on a Tyson fight? I mean, the same night?
I mean, the whole thing, Chris, let's just talk about the so-called coincidences. The number 7. You give all the accounts of this number 7 coming out. Now, and several people confirmed that the official times were all these 7s. And like I said again in the interview before, that's a phenomena. Why aren't they talking about? You have all these endless amounts of documentaries on Pac and the Vegas shooting and blah, blah, blah. They never talk about the 7s. They never talk about the possibility that, he's saying posthumous lyrics or anything like that. They never even talk about the phenomena surrounding his alleged death. That's a phenomenon. They have all those 7s and all those weird so-called coincidences around it. Talk about it. Discuss it. Let's just talk about it. I'm not saying that it's fact, but let's at least bring it to the table because that's a phenomenon. There's nothing normal about something like that.
You can't call an album. You can't call the album the 7-Day Theory. You can't work on a major movie set when Junius was privileged to be on the set of and flip the L's over on the menus, the number 7. That was done in advance, the flipping over and then L's on the menus. You know what I'm saying? And then have a video made with Lionel Martin directed where they got the clocks all set at 7, they got the room number at 7, they got 7 days after he's allegedly dead that it takes place on September 20th.
I mean, This is the glory of it all. If that is possible, that Pac did survive, it's nothing shameful about, other than if there's security reasons. There's nothing shameful about speaking about the man being alive. There's nothing shameful about it. It shows how much of a genius he is. There's nothing shameful about it. And that's the point that I'm trying to bring up to people. I mean, unless there's really big security risks, and I understand that. If there's really big security risks where you can't kind of talk about it, but you got people joking about it, and people close to him saying little things in the songs, but then when you get down to the meat and potatoes, people start kind of getting paranoid when you write a book or something. And that's what I was trying to get lost with. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? But there's nothing shameful about speaking about him being alive. It shows how much he was and is a genius, okay, to pull something like that off, okay, and then get away. Because for what I understand, and I've talked to several celebrities and other people, they have a high degree of respect for Tupac because they wish they could do what he did. There's a lot of celebrities that literally glorify Pac because they wish they could get away because they tired of that limelight, and they wish they could do what he did, including Ben Affleck, including I can name a few other ones, but I don't want to put them on blast here because I've spoke to them. I know J-Lo had said something as well, but there's a bunch of them that really have a lot of respect for Pop because they want to get out. They would love to do what he did. Because that limelight, I mean, that money, that glamour and glam is cool for a second, but it can get to you. Because at the end of the day, you know, we know how this country was built and we know how it's ran. You know, it's cool to make the money and whatnot, but it can be a curse at the same time. We all know that. So they understand that, and that's why they have a high degree of respect for Pac, for what I understand. And, you know, they continue to talk about it. But, you know, they talk about it off camera, which is fine. They're not trying to be snitches or anything like that. And I understand that. I respect that. I wouldn't want anybody, if they did know some information, to say some things. There was things that people tried to tell me that I told them, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be reliable of any information like that. I just want to know what I've come in contact with, and that's that. You know, and I'm cool with that. I can sleep at night. Well, if Pac is out there, I wish him the best of luck. I have mad respect for the man for doing what he did and getting away and surviving. But having the mind that he has and to do what he did, and then he had the balls to talk about it in songs. That's amazing. That's a genius, and that's why I'm telling you, Pac. Let's look at the copyright dates on the songs. It says here on To End the Time album, the copyright date is 2001. Now, if he did it in 96, why didn't they just say it was in 96? When it goes to the Library of Congress, they don't mess around those copyrights. I know all about that. They're not going to go back in time or go forward and put a 2001 copyright on a song that was done in 96. If it was done in 96, they're going to stamp 96. They're not going to put 2001. They don't joke around with the copyrights, okay? That right there should be other evidence to show that the man didn't record all that music in that amount of time. He had no time. He had, 5, 6, how many movies he had, Kush? We know how many movies he had. You don't have time. You do not have time to do all that recording. And you know, we went to a studio. I had a whole documentary done that we had done. We didn't finish because it was getting down to the nitty gritty. We didn't finish it because it was without a doubt proven you don't have the time. Not to mention the copyrights on there. Every song, every album past 96 do not have 96 copyrights on them. They have the current date of that year. Furthermore, Pac's rap style is changing. If you listen to Tupac, he does not sound like he does in 96. He has a different, and as an artist, I know this because I've done this, artists change their styles. They have a different twang, a different way that they're rapping from year to year. They change their style up. If you listen to his music, it's not his 96 stuff from 2001 or anything. It's different. The flow is different. It's completely different. The rhythm is different. His style is different, which, again, is proving that something is going on. You know, we can just speculate, but something is going on. It's not 96. Everybody knows what Pac sounded like in 96 and 95. He had a certain way that he would flip his words and do his choruses. It's not the same.